Hello, today I'm going to show you how to install the Unity editor for Intruder so that you can create your own maps for that game. The first thing we're going to need is the Unity Hub, and we're also going to need a Unity account in order to use the Unity Hub. But once you get to this stage, you need the right version of Unity, and that's what trips a lot of people up. Let me walk you through that process. For starters, we're going to go to this wiki page for Intruder. This is the URL right here. This is for the Intruder Map Maker, and what we need is a specific version of Unity Hub, 2020.347F, and this will change over time. While this wiki is kept up to date, you can also verify that this is the right version by going into this Google Drive. Last modified, let's see, MM2020 version. Let's take a look at this, 2020.3.47F1. Let's go back here. Let's go to the Unity Hub download. Now we already have the Unity Hub set up. What we need is the right Unity version. Let's go visit the download archive. Now you'll see some options here. We don't want Unity 2023. What we want is Unity 2020. You can see there's a newer version here, and that's not currently compatible with the game. The game will eventually be updated to this version and newer versions of Unity 2020, but what we need is this one right here. I'll go ahead and click the Unity Hub download button, and now Firefox is prompting me to open this in the Unity editor. That's what this means. So I'll go ahead and open that link. Now this is important. For starters, we don't need Microsoft Visual Studio Community. Scroll down here. I already have this selected as I've gone through this before. We also don't need this documentation. I like to keep this documentation checked because I find it interesting, but what this documentation is about is not something we're going to be using at all. Now, I'm on a Windows machine, and that means I already have the right Windows build support. What I need, and the only thing that I need to have checked, is this Mac build support. What's important is this mono here. There's a very big difference between mono and IL2CPP. These are different software frameworks. Now, if you are on a Mac computer, what you would see is a Mac build. You may not see this at all, but what you would see is the Windows build support mono, and we would check that. But we don't need IL2CPP. Again, just this build support for mono. Now, if we were on Linux, what we would do is we would check Mac build support mono and the Windows build support mono. Checking here. Go ahead and hit install. And there's also something else, if we go back here, that we're going to need. Let's go back to the wiki and go back into that Google Drive link. There are a number of assets here that are going to be useful, but we are currently only interested in a few. Now, Intruder and Guard skins, really useful for if you want to edit how your guard or intruder looks like on your map. I'm going to go ahead and download. See here. Right. And the rough object here is just for reference. It's an intruder and guard standing side by side so that you can help get a feel for the correct size of your map. This will also be useful. Now, the Superboss Doors Unity package is really helpful. It's a prefab for the doors in the game, so you can plop them in and they will just work. They're pre-set up. You're going to want this. It's very handy. The other thing that we want is this MM 2.11 Unity package. It's going to have a lot of useful assets, and more than useful, this will have the stuff that you need to actually have a game. The spawn points for guards, spawn points for intruders, the objectives, weapon spawns, and so on. This is something that's very critical. One thing I want to point out, and this line here about backing up your projects before updating. If you update to a new version of the Unity editor, you need to first back up your project, and then I strongly recommend that you verify that you have made your backup correctly, that you can restore from your backup. Because if you update to a new version of Unity Editor, your progress may be reset, and so it's important to have that backup so that you know you have your map saved. And we're just going to wait for this download to finish. But there is one other thing I want to point out. There was someone a while ago who had an error, this error something cipher, and what this refers to is an issue between your machine and Unity. It's not something I'm familiar with how to solve or familiar with why it happens, but I want to point out it's an issue between your machine and the Unity hub itself, possibly related to firewalls, to antivirus things, possibly HTTPS connections, the security of the connection. If you get this error, I recommend just doing generic Unity troubleshooting. And then we're going to wait until this installs or downloads. But it will also take some time to install as well. Download is finally finishing up. It just finished. Got the editor and the Mac build support that we needed. What we need to do now is go over to projects, new project, do 3D core, and let's go a demonstration project here. Go ahead and create this. And then it will go ahead and open Unity. This does take a little bit. While we're waiting, I want to highlight something very helpful. On the Intruder website, if you go to community and view the Discord is excellent and they have lots of very helpful people there. If you're having trouble with the Intruder Map Maker, I strongly recommend going there and asking for help. Alright, now that we have this, what I want to do is go and import the package that we download, specifically this one right here. Go and drag this directly to it. You know what, I'm actually going to hit, now this screen is very important, I'm actually going to hit cancel. I want this thing in its own folder rather than put in the assets thing, so I'm going to go to assets, import package, custom package, and then I already have this up. This is the one that I want. Go ahead, hit open. And now, again, make sure on this screen that you hit import, otherwise it doesn't come in. All right, guess it came in this folder anyhow. And this is a lot of the useful things that you'll need. The prefabs, proxies, the mirror, item proxies for weapons. Very helpful thing. I'm going to stop the video right here. Thank you for watching. If any questions, I would strongly recommend, this handy link to the Discord. Discord is going to have much more experienced map makers than I am. Who guide you through this. Until next time, look forward to making a part 2 where I show you how to put stuff on a map, test your map, and then publish a map. Until then, have a good one.